Good afternoon, everyone. This is Caesar with Inspiring Movement. I hope that you're having a lovely work week thus far. Today we're continuing with the segment entitled Word of the Day, and we're offering the word suffering. So suffering by definition is the state of feeling pain, distress, or hardship. I'd like to offer a subtle distinction between the word pain and suffering so that we could work off of that construct as we go forward. So pain, I would say, is the feeling of unpleasant physical sensations or emotions. Whereas suffering, I would say, is more so the denial, the struggle, the worry, the frustration, the self-pity that you have around pain. In order to let go of suffering, you would first have to allow for the acceptance of the pain that you're going through or whatever present condition that you're in. So you may ask yourself, well, why do people suffer? I would offer to you that people suffer because they have a disconnectedness from their divine nature or their spirituality. They're completely disconnected. I would also say that people suffer because they have a disconnection with everything that is, including each other. They feel sort of separate or alien to everything that's around them. I would also offer that people suffer because they reject impermanence. They are resistant to change, and that's a very common human thing. We don't like change. We like things to remain the same, and we really get off kilter when things actually do change. So those are all reasons why people could potentially suffer, I would argue. Also, you could add to that people have an addiction or attachment to things that provide temporary relief. These are all reasons why people could suffer. So as I try to connect with the word suffering, I recently attended a workshop that talked about pain and suffering. And while pain is in fact unavoidable, we are all going to go through some level of pain, whether it be physical or mental in our lives. Certainly suffering, from the way that we've defined it more succinctly in this episode, could be avoided by our sheer acceptance of whatever conditions we are being provided right now. And what happens too with suffering is, even if you don't have, say, physical or mental pain that you're going through in the present moment, just the sheer fact that you may say, well, you know, yesterday or the year before or 15 years ago, things were so much better than they are today. And you sort of remiss and kind of stay stuck in the past and wonder, you know, why things aren't better today in comparison to the way that they were yesterday. And so that is, in a sense, suffering, right? Also, you now look towards the future and you say, well, you know what? I can't wait till like 10 years from now, because then it will ultimately be so much better than it is in the present moment. And all it is a denial, to going back to the words that we described before around suffering, the struggle, the frustration of the present moment. It's a lack of acceptance towards the present moment. And that's what basically leads to our constant suffering. So what I would offer you is, again, going back to the premise of accept your present condition. Of course, none of us want to go through mental or physical pain, but what could we do but try to do the best that we can while being presented whatever it is that we're being presented in the present moment. By at least accepting whatever condition you're going through right now, you get rid of this element of suffering and just channel in all of your energies to deal with whatever you have to deal with today. And certainly when it comes to reminiscing towards the past and looking towards the future for that better tomorrow, the idea is to be present in the present moment and fully engage in whatever it is that you're living in right now so that you could do the best with what you have today. I also recall something that I recently read which kind of ties into this whole idea. Happiness is the result minus the expectations. So I think if you ponder that a little bit, you could see that there are some elements to tie into this whole concept of accepting what is going on right now, and therein will lie your ability to do away with suffering. Hopefully you find some of these reflections useful. They're always done with a lot of love and respect. If there's any words that you would like us to revisit or visit, please tune in to our social media or check in with us at inspiremovement.com. It's always a great pleasure to serve you. Know that we do all of these things for you. Ultimately, this is what it's for. It's our way to try to help and give back in the best way that we know how. Thank you so much, and have a lovely remainder of the week.